I would like to thank GMG for the invitation. I'm really excited to have an opportunity to talk a little bit about Amira. I think that just like you guys mentioned, we recently signed an agreement, so we are also very excited on that in terms of collaborate. I think both from my previous background and also currently working in Amira, and I really believe that collaboration is definitely the key to face these global challenges that the mining industry is currently facing. And I think that institutions such as Amira, GMG, and many others that we've been talking both in LATAM and also other parts of the world will be quite interesting on that. So, let me check. I don't know what's happening to the screen. Let me check again. Sharing that. Okay. I think now we're good. Okay. Well, just like GMG mentioned, I'm Patricio Pastorelli. I'm head of global alliances at Amira Global. Also, I'm manager of LATAM. I'm currently based in Santiago, Chile, and I will be talking today a little bit about Amira Global from the point of view of the purpose, objectives, also a little bit of history. Also talk a little bit of Amira's footprint through its almost 60 years of history. Also, I will be covering some topics around future programs, global alliances. Also, giving some highlights in terms of the Amira delivery model, and finally talk a little bit about Amira capabilities. Okay, so let's start with the first part of the presentation. We are a global private sector, not-for-profit, member-based organization. We've been founded by the global mining companies leading in the industry. I mean, from BHP, Rio Tinto, just to name a few. We were founded around 60 years ago. We were created by the global industry and for the global industry. So we, from the beginning, have been always stamped in our DNA this like global approach. Also, I think it's interesting to mention that we are independent of research institutions, meaning that this will give us flexibility to engage with the best solution providers globally, from universities, R&D centers that are not only based in Australia, but also based in other parts of the world. Also, we work in different collaboration models. This also gives us flexibility to better satisfy our members' needs. I will be talking a little bit more on this topic in a couple of more slides. And of course, we act in members' best interest always, and we are governed by a board of directors being majority elected by our members. Our main purpose is to build collaboration through enhance the standing of resources industry among local and global stakeholders. Also collaboration delivering new data, knowledge, technologies, products, and services to help our members, but also the entire mining industry. And finally, but not less important, is of course collaboration through sustainable development of the resources industry that is acceptable to the world today. In terms of Amira's objectives, the main objectives are, of course, safety. I mean, we are always very concerned about how to improve safety of operations, profitability, and return of investment. Develop industry leadership, I mean, meaning improve the leadership and management. Very focused also on closure and communities. I mean, implement effective closure strategies for operations that minimize the liability of all stakeholders. Also, operational productivity, environmental footprint, capacity building is also one of our main objectives, and finally, discovery to products. During our 60 years of history, one of Amira's enduring strength has been technical sciences that underpin the mine value chain, meaning the creation of new knowledge, data, information, also developing testing of new technologies, developing skills, capabilities, and leadership, setting of standards and benchmarking, and also roadmaps that envisage the future development and needs. The main areas of which Amira has been recognized worldwide has been always related to geoscience, mining engineering, mineral processing and extraction. I mean, we've been running programs that have been very successful for the industry around those verticals within the mining industry, and these areas will remain our focus and fundamental enduring focus in order to solve the mega challenges through the ages of the mining industry. I think another very important area to talk a little bit about is Amira roles. We provide our members with leverage opportunities to support the development of transformational research, development, innovation, and implementation, and associated spin-off from our core scientific disciplines, communities that inform, underpins, and contribute to the resolution of those contemporary mega challenge of the mining industry. Just to see, you can see that part on that graph, in which of course we see water, tailings, energy, resources as the main mega challenges that the industry is facing on, but we are also focusing on the areas that we have more strength. Well, finally, in terms of our guiding principles, I think that this is also quite important to mention. We take care of best interests of our members in everything we think, say, and do so. Also, we focus on transformative, pre-competitive research, development, innovation, and implementation in order to deliver knowledge, technology, and capability that has the potential to transform our members' business and our industry. Also, this is also one of the key areas, global collaboration for impact. I mean, creating global collaboration and partnerships to solve industry challenges and to build global capability. I think this is also quite important, especially in the area that I'm currently leading, which is global alliances. And finally, of course, excellent in governance. I think that is also one of the main attributes and guiding principles of Amira. Now I'm going to give some highlights and also talk a little bit about the Amira footprints in terms of the last 60 years that we have as a company. Some of our key numbers in terms of key performance indicators. For example, we've been delivered a little bit over $1.6 billion in industry-focused research and development. Also, we have a leverage of 20 in terms of multiplier on every dollar sponsor. We have been managing a little bit over 750 collaborative projects. We have also delivered a little bit over $1 billion in terms of optimization and tools, and 350 in new technologies. This, of course, we need to have in mind that this is through the entire history of Amira. In terms of our members, we have currently around 80 members that are basically distributed in the entire mining districts. I mean, we currently have offices in Perth, Melbourne, Johannesburg, Santiago, Chile, the one that I'm based, and also we recently opened another one in Denver, Colorado, with one of our managers based there also. Our members represent around 40% of the copper worldwide production. They also represent around 30% of iron ore worldwide production and 10% of both silver and gold worldwide production. Also, I think it's interesting to mention that the distribution of our members are around 80% mining companies and 20% mining technology providers. In this slide, you can see some of the logos of our members. Of course, these are not like new companies, are basically the main mining industry players from BHP, Anglo American, Barrick, Teck, Rio Tinto, Vale, Codelco, just to name a few. And the same case for our research and development partners. Through our history, we had worked with a lot of the leading institutes of education and also research and developing different types of projects, universities based in different regions from Latin America, also Australia, Canada, Europe, just to name a few. Now I will talk a little bit about the future programs and also the area that I'm currently leading, which is Global Alliances. I think this also can give you an overview of what we are currently doing, and also what is our approach to the industry mega challenge. I think that this part is quite important. Is to that we are aiming to have like a mega challenge approach in order to to help the industry to face like the new challenges that the entire world is facing, from like rapid urbanization, climate change, resource scarcity and supply chain challenges, demographic and social changes, shifts in global economic patterns. I think those are the main challenges that the industry will be facing. But also, we are aiming to develop collaboration through these mega challenges, and we have identified, of course, different areas in which we can develop these like mega programs. But of course, the main areas, just like I mentioned before, are around reduce or eliminate tailings, optimize water and energy, reduce emissions, increase mining productivity, also accelerate the resource identification, supply to meet the increasing demand. But always having in mind that we have our strength in the geoscience, mining engineering, and mineral processing extraction in order to better use our capabilities and also experience. This is one example of this like mega challenge program. We have developed an Amira Global program, Tailings, that we are going to be launching in Santiago next week, in which we are going to propose a conversation around how the industry can work towards zero waste and harm tailings, in order to collaborate not only with mining companies, but also with different stakeholders from the innovation and R&D ecosystem around the mining industry. So as soon as we have that launch, we can easily send you that program also. But also, we are aiming to develop programs in the future that are around other challenges, from, of course, water and waste program, future energy and emission programs, future copper and electrification programs. Of course, this is all in development. We are going to be working this in the next couple of years, but the idea is to have an approach around these challenges in order to better collaborate. In terms of alliances, I think this is one of the areas that I'm quite interested, because we think and we believe that collaboration in the industry is the key to solve these challenges, but also in terms of to help to satisfy the needs and also the challenges of our members. So we are aiming to develop alliances that can help to expand the R&D deal flow, but also diversify, meaning working not only with the traditional R&D providers, but also explore solutions and innovation from other type of providers, such as, for example, startup hubs, innovation accelerators, for example, and also to create this like global support network that can help to better deploy these projects and programs. The main idea is to develop a global network that can help us accelerate collaboration across the ecosystem from different mining districts, but also develop pathways for projects to enable accelerated translation and implementation of R&D outcomes, and also that those pathways also help to scaling those solution and commercialization of those R&D outcomes. And finally, of course, de-risk R&D outcomes ahead of on-site deployment. The main idea is to develop this partnership with different stakeholders, from testing facilities, METS companies, universities, R&D centers, innovation, and startup hubs. We've been doing a lot of this work, especially in LATAM. This has been like the first stage of this global alliances approach. You can see, for example, in this slide, different partners that we are signing agreements. Also, we are working towards collaboration from, of course, just like I mentioned before, testing facilities, universities, innovation hubs, also open innovation platforms. Wanted to share this, for example, just to give you an idea of the type of stakeholders that we are collaborating. For example, we just signed a collaboration agreement with the Mining Innovation Hub from Peru, which is quite interesting because they are very active leading our organization in the Peruvian ecosystem. they were formed by the main players of the mining industry in Peru. They have companies such as, for example, Goldfields, Buenaventura, Poderosa, Nexa, among many others. But also, what is quite interesting that they have a network of stakeholders of a little bit over 1,000 institutions. This meaning from universities, startups, meds companies, traditional providers, etc. This also give us an opportunity to explore different type of solutions and innovation that have been developed in the Latin market. And another interesting example is the National Piloting Center in Chile, which is one of the main one of the main actors in the Chilean ecosystem. It was a testing facility that was developed by the major universities around the mining industry, and also had the funding from the Chilean government. And this is quite interesting because it also gives us access and an opportunity to test these technologies and de-risk these technologies prior to deploy those. I mean, also they have, as part of their community, the biggest mining companies in the Chilean industry, for example, Codelco, Anglo American. Also, they have a lot of agreement with the main universities and hubs. In terms of Amira model or the delivery of the way we work, I think it's something interesting to also talk and cover. I think that one of the advantage of the Amira delivery is that we leverage, of course, the R&D budget of our members, meaning that we can have like 5-6 companies that are working together in a collaboration project, and they are going to have access to those results, spending less money. That they are like by themselves doing those like collaboration projects. Also, I think that the opportunity of networking and education around those projects is also quite important. I think that we've been seeing that there is a lot of value in creating communities around those collaboration projects in which they can share experience. They also can share education opportunities, the creation of capabilities, just to name a few. Also, we are adding value to the mining ecosystem, and of course, serving society future and resources. I think if we can like highlight the main 3 attributes of our delivery, I think that it would be these 3, which are basically thought leadership, mega challenge trends, research, development, innovation, and implementation programs, and enabling R&D translation, piloting, scaling, and deployment. And I think this slide also is quite interesting. This is one example of a collaboration project that has been running for quite some time, from 2006, and it's the Western Australia Exploration Initiative, in which we have been working with more than 40 sponsors through the history, through the iteration of this initiative.
Oh, I think we may be having some technical issues. Patricio is now on mute.
Now you can hear me now?
Now it's good. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys listen a little bit about this slide. I can repeat that with no problem. Of course. Well, I was just saying while I was on mute that this is a good example of the type of collaboration project that we've been developing in Amira. This is the Western Africa Exploration Initiative. This is a program that has been running for quite some time. Now it's on on it 4 iteration. This started in 2006, and we've been working with 40 sponsor or members companies from Vale, Rio Tinto, BHP, Barrick, just to name a few, and also with a little bit over 20 research and universities in this project, from universities from both Australia and other parts of the world. And I think in terms of investment, it's worth to mention that this program has delivered a little bit over $8 million from the industry and also $7 million from governments. This is just to give you an idea of the different types of projects and the model that we have in Amira. Just like I mentioned before, we in Amira manage the leasing, governance, finances, reporting, meetings, and timelines of delivery. But the important part is that we are flexible in order to develop projects that could be one-on-one. I mean, in one mining company or one Amira member with one university or R&D center, but also, and I think this is the interesting part, is of course is to develop those collaboration projects around different type of more than one member, of course, and this could be with one university, or this could be with one R&D center, but also with a couple of those. So I think that is what makes us different of other companies similar to Amira. I think also this is also quite important, just to mention the traditional project development process of a typical Amira project. It all start with engage with of course members, identify and understand challenges that those companies can be having. After that, of course, to seek and engage with solution providers. This could be, just like I mentioned before, universities, R&D centers, or others. After that, we prepare expression of interest documents and project proposals in order to formalize interest in participate in a collaboration project. Also, we take care of the finance, meaning we secure financial commitment from the industry. After we have all that ready, we kick off and finalize all the R&D agreements and start project. And of course, we also take care of oversight the project delivery and deliver on the expectation that the project creates. Also, in terms of the platform that we create when Amira is running a project, I think that there are some important points to highlight. One is that there is a virtual library in which all Amira members can have access to all the basic information and technical information of the project anywhere, anytime. Also, this could be from sponsors and researchers. Also, you can download pretty much everything, and you have access to news, events, and conferences related to that project. Okay, so, and finally, I'm going to talk a little bit about Amira capabilities. Just like I mentioned before, we've been developing projects through the entire mining value chain, from exploration, mining engineering, mineral processing, extractive metallurgy, sustainability, just to name a few. Of course, due to time, I will not be focusing on each project that we are currently running, but if anyone has any doubt, we can easily give you a brochure or a PowerPoint deck of the main project that we are currently doing. And I think that, of course, the most important part is around our capabilities, that we are capable and we are recognized by identifying, recruiting, and including globally leading solution providers, such as technology-based mining providers, companies, research organizations, in mega collaborations to solve industry mega challenge set by the industry collaboration. I think that should be one of the key messages that I would like that each one that participates in this webinar can bring you home. This is part of our team. Our CEO is Dr. Jackie Coombs, and also another colleague that I see present in this webinar is Dr. Anil. He's the one running all these enabling futures and future programs. And then you can see other colleagues that are based in different parts of the world. Thank you very much. I hope this presentation was an interesting resources for all the participants. I think that just like GMG mentioned, we're aiming to collaborate with all the stakeholders that, of course, are interested in the development of this mining ecosystem. Thank you very much.